Right, hi guys. Right, my sister came up. My sister came up to show me her new car, and it's lovely. What happened was, my sister sent me a message saying, have you had your dinner? Have you got the kettle on? So I typed a message, no and no. No, I hadn't had my dinner, and no, I hadn't got the kettle on. I said, but you're welcome to come up any time. And so myself and Skippy waited and waited and waited, and eventually she came, but she didn't come for ages. And when she did come, she said, you didn't answer my message. And I said, I did. I sent you a message. She said, no, you haven't. I said, I have. So I got my phone out, and I went onto my phone, have a look at my messages, and I typed it. I just hadn't sent it, guys. So she said, I thought I'd come up anyway. And I said, good. So she came up with my brother-in-law and showed me her car. It's lovely. It's really, really nice. Lovely, clean car. I think it's probably the newest car she's ever had. So that was really lovely. She likes, funny enough, I don't know if you find the same, whether you end up getting stuck in a kind of colour, with a particular colour. Not intentionally, but every time you find a car you like, it happens to be the same colour as her previous car. Well, this is what she's done with this one. It's the same colour as her previous car. And that was a nice car, and this one's a nice car as well. And it's a dark blue, and it looks really nice. So I sat in the car with her, and we went through some of the controls because she wasn't sure what it did. And we had a little chat about it and stood outside admiring it. It was a lovely car, really nice. And my brother-in-law said to me, he said, there's something wrong with the paintwork. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you feel this. And he went over to the driver's door. He said, you put your hand on the driver's door. And I said, yes. He said, it's lovely and smooth. I said, yes, it is. And then he said, no, you try this. And he said, put your hand on the back door. And the back door is really, really rough. And he said, there's something stuck on the paintwork. I said, well, yes, I think it's sap. I think it's tree sap. I think the car's been parked under a tree. And he said, well, why isn't the driver's door like that? I said, well, they've obviously polished the driver's door for some reason. I said, maybe it's had a bit of paintwork done to it, and they've polished the door. I said, but the rest of the car's covered in sap. I said, if you go around the car and put your hand on the roof, the bonnet, the wings, you can feel it's got like a rough texture. I said, that's sap. I said, it's been parked under a tree. He said, right. He said, well, we're going to be polishing it at the weekend. I said, well, that will take it off. I said, nothing special, just ordinary polish, and that will take off and it'll be really nice. So he said, right, that's what we're going to do. I said to my sister about her number plate. I said, you haven't got your number plates on yet, because she's got a special private number plate. And this is one she got bought by her hubby as a present on her 60th birthday. And she hasn't transferred it yet. She said, with all the aggravation in getting the car in the first place, because they let her down and the car broke down, this, that and the other, she said, we thought we'd hang on and just make sure the car is all right before we end up spending money swapping the number plate over, only to find the car's no good and we have to send it back. And I said, I don't think you will have any more issues. I said, hopefully they've ironed out these problems and you'll be away. So she said, well, she said she's got some new number plates made already. Because her old ones had what they call delaminated. The water had got behind it and made it all go kind of bubbly. So she got herself some new number plates, but she hasn't drilled them, or her hubby hasn't drilled them and put them on yet. But obviously they've got to swap the paperwork over first. But it looks lovely. So we sat in the car and we went through all the bits and bobs, and it is really nice. So then after that, they both came into the house. We sat down. We had cups of tea and sat down and had a good chat, and that was really nice. And I'm going out with my younger sister on Sunday, so it's going to be my eldest sister, my younger sister, myself and Skippy are all going to go for a walk, and then hopefully after that we'll try and see if we can go on somewhere to have a drink, so have a cup of coffee somewhere. So that's what we're planning to do on Sunday, and I hope the weather's going to be good. I think it forecasts okay, but we'll have to wait and see. And I did say to my younger sister, I said, don't forget, if the weather's nice, you've got to wear a... And she went, wear a what? And I said, wear a dress. I said, because I love it when you all come out in dresses. So we'll see if that happens. I don't think it's ever happened yet where my two sisters and myself have all been wearing dresses at the same time. I've always worn the dresses and they've always come in jeans or shorts, and I keep trying to get nice dresses on and they never seem to do it, and I'm trying to get them to do it, and hopefully if the weather's really nice this coming weekend, I know Skippy will do it because Skippy loves dresses as well. She's as bad as I am. So I'm hoping that they're going to heed my words and actually wear some dresses. Watch this space. Oh dear. So that was good. I've been on my YouTube site just going through some of the messages. A lot of people are a bit scathing about the top I've got on. Guys, I don't care. I love the top. It might be a little bit revealing. Skippy keeps adjusting it for me because it rides down and she has to keep pulling the straps over my shoulder. It needs a little bit of fine tuning on the straps to hold it up a little bit higher. I can see what you guys are talking about, but I love it and I'm going to carry on wearing it as and when I can. Yeah. If I feel comfortable in something, I will carry on wearing it. Right, what else can I tell you guys? I've got to go to Bury tomorrow. Now, the good thing about Bury is it's a later start. So I haven't got to start work until 8:30. Takes about half an hour to get to Bury from where I live. So if I set off at 7:45, I should get to work at 8:15, which gives me time to unload my van and get my tools in for 8:30. So that's perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. So that means, and Skippy said to this, oh good, she said, you can have a lay-in in the morning. I said, lay-in? What's one of those? I never lay in. You know what I'm like. She said, what time are you going to get up? I said, oh, probably about 5 o'clock. She said, but you can have a lay-in. I said, I know I can have a lay-in. I said, but I'll be awake anyway because I wake up early every morning. I always have and I always will. What I might do, I might still get up at my 5 o'clock, but I might do a self-tan because tomorrow will be Thursday and I'm going to have a shower Thursday night. I had one last night. I won't have one tonight. I'll top and tail tonight. And then tomorrow's Thursday and I have a shower every other night. I don't necessarily wash my hair every night. I tend to only do my hair twice a week because I was told not to overwash it. So that's what I do. So I'll probably do a shower tomorrow, and if I've self-tanned, that's perfect because that means I wash off any residue in the evening before I go to bed, so it won't mark my bed sheets and you don't feel sticky. That's the other thing with self-tanning. It looks great and it's lovely, but you do feel a bit sticky. So I will probably do a self-tan tomorrow morning. That's my excuse anyway for getting up early. Oh, that goes there and that goes there. Right, I think I've got room for this. I'll just put that one there. Right, trying to work things out here. Sandwiches, I've got some sandwiches already in the freezer, in the fridge. So I've just got to put those in my tuck box tomorrow. I had, today for dinner, I had a cheese and sausage roll. But I also had some food left over from last night's meal that I took to work in a Tupperware container and then I heated it up in the microwave and that was really nice. So I had that, I had my cheese and sausage roll and then I had a yoghurt to finish it all off, so it was really nice. I had a bit of a late lunch because I did an MOT just before dinner time and I just stuck with it and got it finished, so that made me a little bit late going for my dinner. But that wasn't a problem because that made my afternoon shift shorter because we start at 8 o'clock in the morning and usually work till 1 o'clock and then I have a half-hour lunch. Well, this time I worked till 1:30 and then had my half-hour lunch, which got me to 2 o'clock, which then meant I only had 2.5 hours to do this afternoon. And probably the last half hour of that I got my van in and packed my tools up. So I only actually had to work a couple of hours this afternoon and that was really nice. So that worked really well. And tomorrow I've got the same sort of thing. I've got to unpack my tools when I get to Bury, do the day's work, and then just before the end of the day I've got to repack my tools again to go back to Cambridge for the Friday. So, and they did say to me today I went in the office for another job and they said, oh, how do you fancy doing a timing belt? And I said, yeah, that's fine. And they said, oh no, you're not here tomorrow, are you? And I said, no. They said, oh, we better not give you that. They said, because this one will go over, so it's obviously a big one. So I got out of doing a timing belt. I don't mind doing timing belts, guys. I've done hundreds of timing belts, absolutely hundreds of them, if not thousands. There's a lot of them out there. So I didn't get that one to do, but I did do another quite interesting job. It was a warranty job, which I shouldn't do. But I did do it. But I got one of the other techs, who's a franchise technician, to clock on and off the job, because it's got to be put through warranty, and if it goes through warranty, you have to be a franchised tech, and obviously I'm not. So I can do the job, but it's not a problem doing it, but I can't do the paperwork side because it has to have somebody's name on it and it can't have my name on it. So I got one of the other techs to do the clocking and the paperwork, and I just did the job. So that worked really nice. And that's the one I managed to bring the key back with me in my van. I had it in my pocket, and I got out of my van and went to put my key in my pocket, and I thought, what's that? And I had another key in there, and the penny dropped. I went, oh no, I brought a key back from work in Cambridge, and it's the car I did this afternoon. And I thought, oh, that's all I need. So I sent a message to the service manager. I didn't get a reply, but what I might do is send another message to the assistant service manager tomorrow, just in case the other service manager didn't get my message, so that I know someone knows what's going on. Shouldn't be a huge problem, I'm hoping, but it is something that does happen. You do sometimes come home with keys in your pocket. I went out many years ago. I worked at a garage, and I got sent out to collect some parts from a motor factors, and I went to this. I borrowed a car. We've got what we call a drop-off car. It's like a dump car. It's an old car that's got tax and insurance on it, and if you had to go and pick a car up, you take that, leave that, and bring back the customer's car, and we called it a dump car. Well, I took the dump car to this motor factors to go and get some parts. They'd ordered the parts had come in, and they phoned us up to say your parts are in. So I said, okay, I'm on my way. So I shot down to pick them up. So I took the dump car with me, went, got the bits, came out of the factory shop, and went to my car, and I couldn't find the keys. I thought, what have I done with the keys? They weren't in my pocket. I was tapped on my pockets. I thought, well, what have I done? Maybe I've left them on the counter in the shop. So I went back. No, nobody had seen the keys. So I went back. I patted all my pockets down. I couldn't find them. Could not find them at all. Car was locked, so I'd obviously got out of it and locked it. But I'd usually put the keys in my pocket, but I couldn't find it. So I had to phone up my garage, and I said, look, I've got down here and I've lost the keys. I don't know what I've done with the keys. Have you got some spare keys? And they said, no, I don't think we have. And I said, oh no. I said, can you come and get me? And then we'll see if I can't find these keys. So they came and got me, and got back to work. I did the job that I was trying to do anyway. And then I went home after that. When I took I had like work trousers, like, you know, the ones with all the pockets on. I can't think what you call them now, like cargo trousers. So pockets in the front, pockets in the back. I took those off, and the keys fell out on the floor. They were there, but I don't know where they were. But they weren't in the pockets, but I don't know where they'd gone. Anyway, I found the keys. They were inside I think they were actually inside my trousers, not in the pockets. I don't know how. But anyway, I did find the keys eventually. But yeah, it's that horrible feeling when you come out and you think, where's the keys gone? It's like that panic. You think, oh no, what have I done? It's a bit like when you put your phone down somewhere and you can't think where you put your phone down, and then you have to get somebody to phone your phone so you can hear it ring, so you know where it is. That's all right if you're with somebody, but if you're not with anybody, you can't do that. It's not like you can phone your sister to tell her to phone you up so you can find your phone, because you can't find your phone to start with. Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one, that one. Something else I've done, and I've done it twice now, is I've gone to work, and I've been driving to work and suddenly realised that I can't see where I'm going because I haven't got my glasses on. It's not so much looking out the windscreen I can't see where I'm going, it's when I look down at the instruments, because I need my glasses for reading. and a little bit of adjustment for long sight. So long sight isn't really a huge problem, it's the up close. And because I got the varifocals on, you just look, you gaze down and you can see the speedo and all the gauges, and then look up and you can see long distance. So it's really good. But sometimes I've done it twice now, where I've jumped in my car or my van to go to work, and I've got part way to work and I've looked down at the gauges and realised I can't see the gauges and I haven't got the glasses. Oh, you have to turn around and come back. And I've done that twice now. I suppose the other one is where a lot of people who don't take the glasses off, they put them back on top of the head. They sort of stand them up here, so they're on top, and they start panicking because they can't find the glasses and they're actually on top of the head. Right, I think that is it. We are done. Time wise, it is 22:18 now, so that's not bad at all. So all the washing's done. Let me just tip this out. Like I said, I haven't got to make sandwiches, I've already got those in the fridge. So I can just pack my tuck box tomorrow. Perfect. Right, that's done. Put that there. Oh. And these gloves have finally got a hole in. I've got a wet finger. I felt that earlier. Oh, I need to make a hole in that. I'll do that tomorrow. I haven't got the knife with me. Right, let me wipe these gloves down. That one. Ah, guys. I've got that new fan. I've got a oscillating fan, floor standing electric fan, which is fantastic. But when my sister and brother-in-law came round, we were sat in the front room, and you couldn't hear yourself think because the fan is quite loud when it's in your ear. And so what I've done this evening, I've brought it out, I've put it in the dog's day room, but it's pointing into the hallway and it's blowing air through the hallway into the front room. I think that might be the better way to do it, because when you've got it in the fan beside, when you're in the front room with the fan beside you, it's just so noisy you can't hear. But it's lovely if it's really hot and it's just blowing at you all the time. It's really nice. But I might try that for a little while and see if that's better. But it is a lovely fan. It's really good, really powerful. And that's something that Skippy said today. She said she's been suffering with some headaches. She said, I've been having some headaches lately. She said, it's ever since we got that fan. She said, and I wonder if it's because I'm sat in front of the fan, it's blowing at me all the time, if that's giving me a headache. And I said, okay. I said, well, what we can do, we can try moving it, which I suggested to her this evening before my sister and brother-in-law came round. And I've done it, once they've gone, I've actually moved it. And it's a lot better there. It's lovely and quieter. It's quiet in the front room now, and you can actually hear the telly. So I might reposition it so it's in the doggy day room, blowing through into the front room. I'm not sure yet, or whether Skippy will want it back in the front room. We'll see. The jury's out at the moment. I don't know that she realises what I've done. Actually, I think she's gone up because the front room light's out, so I think she's sneaked upstairs already. She's a tinker. Right, guys, I'm going to have to put the boys to bed now. So I've got Sooty beside me, and where's that Snoop? Where's that Snoop? Where is he? I'm not having apple pies tonight, guys. It's just too late. I had a late dinner or tea because we waited for my sister to come round and my brother-in-law, and then when they went, we made our dinner then. And I haven't. I just literally brought the plates in to wash them up, so I'm not going to have apple pies now at 21 hours. It's not going to happen. It's too late. Right, Snoopy, you going up the garden for me? Come on in. Come on in, Snoopers. Where are you? Snoopy. Snoop. Come on. Here he comes. We going up the garden? Come on in. Off you go, guys. Good boys. It's really mild out there, guys. Right, let's take this apron off. I'll extend the selfie stick again. We'll get some biscuits for the boys, which are up here. Snoop's coming back in straight away. Look, oh, here he comes. I can hear his harness. There he is. That didn't take you long. That didn't take you long. I actually shut the boys in the garden when my sister and brother-in-law were here because they wouldn't settle. They weren't impressed. They kept barking at the back door, and I had to come and tell them to be quiet, and they stopped barking. But yeah, they didn't want to be outside. They wanted to be in the house to see what was going on. Right, so that's that. Right, biscuits. Here we go. 1, 2. Right, got the dog's biscuits. Sooty should be coming in. Oh, he's not there yet, is he? Here's my Snoopers. Right, that's done. That's ready for tomorrow. Fill the kettle up for tomorrow as well, guys. Good boys. Where's that soot? Where's that little sooty gone? You're not going there, you're going in the day room. You're going in the day room, Snoop. Here comes Soot. Good boy, Sooty. Sooty's just outside the door having a drink. Right, kettle's filled for the morning. I'll just turn that off. Turn the coffee machine off. I'll put the radio on before the boys go to bed. Let's hang this up, guys. You coming in then, Soot? You coming in, fella? Good boys. Right, let's get the boys sorted. Here we go. Come on then, let's go. Here we go. They're both running. There you go. Can you see my Snoopers? There. I'm going to have to get them off so I can put their blankets on. Right. Right, I'm going to take this off. Plug this in as well, I think. Right, down you get, please, guys. Get down. Stay down. Okay, Snoop. Good boy. Okay, Sooty, it's your turn. What's up? You sit down here. Here. Good boy. Right, the boys are down. Right, boys got their shoes. Now, where's my charger? There it is. I'm just plugging my laptop in, guys, otherwise it'll go flat. That locks it off. Helps if you turn it on. Right, that's charging, that's good. Right, we're done. Woo. Right, the boys are sorted. I've just got to lock up the back door in the kitchen. It's done. Right, so I turn this one off. Right, just turn the fan off. And I'll move the fan back here so it's not in the way. And that's off. Boys are sorted, right. That's it, guys. Night night. Right, we're going up, guys. Go and see if we can find out where Sooty's gone. Skippy's gone. Right, there you go, guys. And that one. Right, night night, guys. Sleep tight. Right, we're going up. Let me shorten the selfie stick. Whew. It's going to be hot upstairs. Right, right, front room's all done. We're going up. Right, here we go. And we are up. Whew, gosh, it's warm up here. I'm going to have to open the windows again. That's off. Just turned the hot water off. I did put it on early for Skippy because Skippy said she might have a bath, but because my sister and brother-in-law stayed fairly late, we didn't get anything done this evening. Never mind. It's always tomorrow. Right, guys, that is it. I've had enough. I'm going to bed. I'm so hot. Oh, right, I shall speak to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to do a self-tan tomorrow. I might go for an early morning walk with the boys. If it's really nice, which I think it's going to be, I might do a walk with the boys. So, yeah, that would be nice. Right, I'm going to sign out now. Love you all to death, and I shall speak to you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.